Could sumptuary anti-usury laws be a sign of high group selection? Is there a law, is there a link between monetary mass and RK variations? The sumptuary laws is a very interesting question because the more K selected a society is, the more niches it has, and so the more you have division of labour. And if you want to maintain a division of labour and maintain a clear hierarchy, one of the ways you can do that is through clothes and differences in how people dress, so that everybody knows where everybody is, and nobody's pretending, and everybody's honest about what they are and what contribution they are actually making to the superorganism. So that's very interesting. Yes, sumptuary laws could be a way of stamping that into law.
I think I actually wrote that in a book. I discussed that very issue of how sumptuary laws are, exactly as you point out. They're mechanisms through which high social signalling and honesty of social signalling can be maintained. And yes, therefore they function to reinforcing social distinctions between people which are necessary for the organic functioning of a group.
They prevent willful attempts at playing for status by lying about what you've achieved. Of course, there's going to be a subjectivity to them and where the borders lie. But no, I quite like the idea. For example, you used to have this situation at boarding schools in the Victorian era where if you had a degree and you were a teacher, you were allowed to wear a mortarboard. And if you did not have a degree, you could not wear a mortarboard. That is essentially a sumptuary law. And so at Winston Churchill's prep school, for example, there were 4 teachers. 3 of them had degrees, so that they used to wear the mortarboard, the gown, and the hood. And the other one, H. Martin Cook, who was Churchill's class teacher, didn't have a degree, so he didn't. I quite like the clarity of that. It's like in the army where you can't impersonate rank. You can't misappropriate medals you haven't earned, wear uniforms you're not entitled to.
There used to be a thing called the privilege of peerage, and these were a series of laws which were passed to protect the rights of peers. And these included their right to wear certain kinds of clothing such as ermine robes, coronets which are configured as to indicate their rank. And if you assumed these garments, or you assumed their styles and started calling themselves the Right Honourable, or Lord this, or Marquis that, you would be taken away and punished. I don't know when those laws were struck down.
Yes, only gentlemen were able to have jewels, and only gentlemen were able to wear certain kinds of fur. And gentlemen could complete degrees Oxford in 3 years rather than 4 years. I don't know when they were struck down, but maybe they should be re-established.